Good afternoon, Soul Family. This is Crystal Demon Slayer 144, and I'm feeling a little tired today. It's a good day, a little challenging. One of the challenges was um, that I noticed was my ability and willingness to listen to my intuition. You know, that little voice that tells you when something's right or when something's not right. In particular, uh, it was the thing that got me was I've been online quite a bit, and one of my a fun thing for me to do is to go on the Facebook or primarily Facebook and X, and there'll be political things going on, especially like when I see political things that I don't agree with, and then somebody says something in the comments on a post. Or I'll either see a post or I'll see a comments to a post that I don't like, and so I'll respond to it. And I may respond with some what I think is some sarcastic or quirky um, um, saying, um, or on some I'm just downright, I don't know, I wouldn't say mean, but I know I pretty much know that the person who's receiving my response is not gonna like it. And then I get some sort of a, you know, happiness out of that, or it's fun. Well, I started doing it quite a bit, and this little voice kept saying, you know, this is a waste of time. I mean, you're responding and you may be angry or triggered just like everyone else, but do you really think your jabs at people or at their ideals or ideas, you think that's really getting anywhere? Do you think that's really doing anything? And the answer is no, it's not. It is a waste of my time. It really is. And I think the only fun that I get out of it, the real basis of the fun, is that it kind of makes me feel like, I'm on the side of the righteous, and with this jab I'm putting you in your place, and I'm making some sort of progress with this overall problem. And I'm not. I know I'm not. I know. And here's the thing, when you know what you know. So I know that everything that is happening, I'm just going to say in America, that I don't like is meant to be. There's no accident that who's in office is in office, and there's no accident that they have the administration that they have, and there's no accident that that person and their administration are doing the things they're doing. It's no accident that this person is how they are, even on a personal level. That all that is no accident, in my opinion. And take this as it resonates. If it doesn't, don't take it. If you think I sound crazy, that's okay. This channel may not be for you. But I truly believe that this current administration and everything they're doing is an integral catalytic part of the overall revelation story that's in the Bible and in other spiritual stories of other cultures that are along that revelations line. That being said, I believe that, and I've probably said this before, I believe that they, this current dynamic that we have in the government is meant to be. It's meant to tear down this dysfunctional, fake, matrix illusion of a system that, you know, in falsehood was supposed to stand for justice and supposed to stand for equality and supposed to stand for, you know, the best values and principles of the American citizen. Well, that was all, in my opinion, that was all a lie. So now we have people in office, in my opinion, that are showing us the truth, showing us the real foundation of this system. And honestly, when you look at the Epstein files, it's not just America, it's global. This whole global system, in my opinion, has to come down, has to be destroyed. Destroy this Han Moon and create a new one, as they say in K-pop Demon Hunters. You know, let's destroy this one and create another one. And I believe that this current administration and everything they do and every associate, every member of it is a vital part of that systemic deterioration. And in my opinion, that's a good thing. So why am I fighting against it? Why am I, you know, posting, you know, things that would make a person mad who, you know, when I'm responding to their posts? Why am I doing that? So I had to put some thought to it. And I was like, you know what? Some of the things these people post, I'm taking personally. Like, for instance, there was a post where somebody, okay, so there was a post that Hakeem Jeffries, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, said that, I think her name is Caroline or Catherine Levitt, the spokesperson for Trump, where he said, you know, she's a liar, she's, you know, providing fake information, blah, blah, blah. And somebody in the response to that post said something to the effect of, what did he call? He said, he called Hakeem Jeffries a something nigger. I don't know. I can't remember the, you know, adjective in front of it. And I saw red. So, of course, I had, you know, I responded to that. And then they responded to me. And so I responded back to them. And as soon as I did that, I was like, why am I doing this? What is the point? Why am I doing this? I mean, I thought my responses were pretty, you know, nice and sarcastic and dug right in there. But why do I care about making somebody feel bad about what they said? What they said is where they're coming from. It's where they're at. And I'm going to change that or make them see the light or, you know, bring significant consequences to them by responding to them in kind. No. I know for a fact that doing stuff like that is very low vibrational, especially for me. It's very low vibrational. And I also know that when I do that, I'm feeding into that energy, and because of course when I respond to them, they respond to me, and it's feeding into that negative energy. It's actually not only amplifying or carrying on that negative energy, but as I said before, I believe in inner and outer demons, and I believe that these demons feed off of that negative energy. So what am I doing? I am creating that negative energy, or I'm furthering that negative energy, giving them more to eat. That's not my role. That's not my job. That's not what I'm here to do. And I know better. I know better. As a matter of fact, as I'm texting, this little voice inside is saying, "Now you know you're not supposed to do that. You know that's not the frequency you want to operate on. That's not what you want to promote." The thing is that, and you may find this out, or you may know this, is that when we're doing something we know we shouldn't do, we can always reason ourselves out of it. Like, oh, no, but, to support why we're doing it. Because we really want to do it, whether it's right or wrong, whether it goes against our principles. Oh, I'm not going to take that drink again. But then when you take another drink, because, maybe last time you were so hungover, or you were sober for so long, or, I'm not going to take that hit of whatever that drug is because blah, blah. But when you really want to do it and it's a habit, like me responding to these emails or posts, you can find yourself creating a reason within yourself to do it. Even though every time, because God, source, spirit, nature, truth will always be there because it's within you. It's the spark of the divine that's within you. So it will always tell you what's right or wrong. You may hear my dog snoring, but it's always going to tell you what's right or wrong. But we have free will. We can choose to listen to it or not, And what I find myself doing, as in the case with this posting, I'm hearing this voice saying, it's not, you're not supposed to be doing that. That's not the best way to spend your time or your energy. I ignored it. And then I heard it again. It's very faint. So it's real easy to ignore. As a matter of fact, the way I found the way to make that voice louder, that intuition, that inner voice louder, is to actually hear it the first time when you heard it, acknowledge that you heard it, and do what it says do. Because it's always telling you the right thing to do. In my case, I was like, you know what? But they deserve it. Because, they were overtly racist and ugly and, and Caroline Levitt does lie and blah, blah, whatever. Fill in the blank. But after I posted it, the saving grace for me was that I couldn't settle. Like, I couldn't feel right about it. Normally I'd be like, there, good. Sin, I'm done. Son of a blah, 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 whatever's going on in my mind. But this time he was like, no, listen. And it's this little irritating or niggling little voice, or it's just continual, and it's almost like, because it's very quiet, and for a while I just chose not to listen to it. I was like, I'm not listening to it. But it's just this, it's almost like this hum, this tone that's just there, and I just feel it through my body, and it's there, it's in the background. It's like, that you're really, really trying to use your powers for good. You're trying to use your energy and your time in the most productive way. You're trying to align yourself what you feel is your highest good, and you know better. You just know better. Whether you choose to follow your inner truth or not, just admit that you know better. So I'm like, fine, I know better. So if I know better, then that means I just chose to do what I wanted to do, and I didn't care what my intuition said. I didn't care what, that voice in me that always tells me the right thing to do said. I just didn't care because I felt that it was important to get it out. And so this inner voice was like, okay, why did you feel it was important to get it out? Because they did so and so and so and so. They said this, and that was highly offensive, and 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 then of course I'm on the road to Abilene. It's highly offensive, and these are what these people do. These MAGAs or whatever, and then I'll make it national, and they're trying to fill in the blank. Okay. And then that little voice is like, okay, so you already know, just admit, you already know that this is what they're here to do anyway, number one. And you already know that some people, this is where they operate. They operate on that frequency. It's just what they do. It's where they're at. You can't force somebody who's in kindergarten to be in college just because you're in college and you want them to be in college, or you feel they should be in college by now. That's not realistic. This voice is telling me, that you don't have control over what people do and what they say or what they feel or what they believe in. You only have control over what you do and what you feel and what you believe in and what you think. You don't have control over what everybody thinks. So why can't you just let people be who they are and just let that go? Well, because, and then that voice said, well, because it's your ego. You're operating, when you respond back in kind on that level, the way they put that energy out, that's your ego. You just have to ask yourself, where do you want to be? What frequency, what level of frequency do you want to operate from? And if that's where you want to operate from, that's fine. But don't be a hypocrite. Just admit that that's where you're at. Be where you're at. And of course, I'm like, but I don't want to be there. I see myself operating from a higher frequency. Not egotistical, like, oh, I'm higher than them or I'm better, but just different. It's a different frequency, and it doesn't operate from revenge or offense or defense. That's not who I want to be or where I want to be at. So I finally had to say, okay, you got me. What can I do to deal with this, to feel better? Because now I don't feel good about what I did or what I'm doing. So this voice was like, you can stop posting. You can get off of social media for a while. You can only go onto sites that talk about things that make you feel good, and avoid the sites and the posts that make you feel bad, that even give you the urge to respond in kind. I was like, you know what? I can do that. And this voice said, you can also practice listening to your intuition. Like, practice it. Because, it comes in at a low enough voice, at a low enough level, so that when you hear it, because when you hear it, because if it tells you that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, you're going to feel that, what they say, the ripple in the forest. You're going to feel it. And then if you pay attention to it, the more you pay attention to it, it'll get louder. It'll say, you're not supposed to be doing this, or this is what you should do. I said, okay, I can listen to that. I can pay attention to it. I can listen to it. And so I've made the conscious decision to listen for that voice. First I feel it, and then I have to listen for it because it's not going to talk loud, because we have free will. And when we make it a priority to not only hear that voice, acknowledge it, but then follow what it says to do, not only does it get louder, but then it exposes us to the miracles, what we would call miracles, and the goodness of what happens, and the positive things in our life that happens when we do listen to it and do what it says do, which encourages us to do more. But first, we have to get past whatever is blocking us from really listening to that little voice that always tells the truth, all the time, all the time. So yeah, that has been my, I wouldn't say struggle, but that's been my thing today. That's been my thing today. And I had some notes here. Gosh, I guess I talked about them. They just came out. So yeah, that's kind of like the main thing today. So I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please push the like button, subscribe, and please put comments. Tell me, hey, that sounds great. I have the same issues, or whatever you say. That's fine. I love to see whatever you think of this. This is something brand new that I'm doing. As I said before, I started about a week or two ago doing these YouTube chats. I love them, but I'm just starting out, so this is all raw. No engineering, and I still need to figure out how to make shorts and all kind of stuff. So anyway, until next time.